Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca. Welcome to my channel where artsy stuff happens. As you may have noticed, today I uploaded on a Tuesday rather than a Sunday. Now that's not just because of New Year's, but because it's a change in my schedule. I'll be now uploading Tuesday Arvo / Tuesday morning whenever I get the time, instead of Sundays. So to keep up with any changes in any schedules, just check out my Facebook page. There'll be a link in description for that. I always post updates to that and occasionally to DeviantArt and a couple others, but Facebook is the place I mostly update on. Anyways, this video is a little something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while now, ever since a wonderful trailer came out revealing a new specific dragon. It's Toothless and the Light Fury. Now firstly, just a random thought, I believe that the Light Fury is her name, not her species. That's just me, like it's not canon I don't think or anything like that. But because all of the merchandise with her in it is labeled Light Fury, so that means she doesn't actually have a name and she won't get a name because the bad guy and his dragon have their names on the toy boxes and things like that, but hers is just Light Fury. I don't know if that's why, maybe she doesn't get a name or anything, but I also believe she's the same species as Toothless, and the only reason they call her a Light Fury is because they've never ever seen another Night Fury, and Toothless is the only one, so they just call him a Night Fury because he's black. So I reckon they're both the same type of dragon anyways, but that's besides the point. I wanted to draw the pair together. Now, for a bit of spark, I added some cheeky charm to Toothless, just because we all know Toothless is adorable and funny and all that. And then I added more of a simple look to the Light Fury, because in the trailers, well, she looks really cranky most of the time, because she's wild, and we don't really know much about her yet. So I kind of gave her more of a blank, oh my god, you're my person, but I'm still serious because, you're weird, but alright. But I like you sort of look. Anyways, so I sketched it out. I'm using my special Copic paper because I'm using Copic chow markers for this one. Now, as you can see at this point, I'm still doing the line art, just kind of going over it, fixing up things. Toothless's head went a little bit funny at this stage, but it added a little bit of perk to him, and I added those few little scales just scattered all over the dragons themselves, like in the main pictures you can see that's where they are. I tried to keep the wings on the page so that it would be boundaryless for if I wanted to put it on a shirt or something like that. Otherwise I would have put the wings out a bit more, but this way it looked quite nice. And I exaggerated on the tail, which at the moment I'm silly and didn't put in the camera until now, right now. I exaggerated the poles in the tail because all the merch has exaggerated gold poles, like pins in the tail to keep it there, so I don't know why that would be at the moment because new movie, new stuff. But yeah, I did that there. And then some just kind of finishing up on the Light Fury. And then in the background I've also got some little bugs, kind of like fireflies, because a lot of the images of the world has these little glowy bug things in the hidden world. So it's I'll add some of those to the background just to give it a bit more spark. Now at this point I start coloring in Toothless. So I'm using a cool grey 5 and a cool grey 7 just to do his generic scale. So I start with the lighter grey and use the darker grey a little bit later, not right now, but a little bit later, to add more definition to him and make him look darker. So I use the lighter grey as the highlights of him and exaggerate the dark for the shadows. I also got the black, like I think it's number 100, to go in and over exaggerate the shadows and add definition to the little scales that are on his face and his hands, as well as add extra shadow where it needed to be. And then went back over it with the lighter grey to like try and blend it in so it wasn't as harsh of a shadow as it looks without it being blended in, as the miracle of Copic markers works. It is my most favourite thing about Copic markers. You can soften those shadows and it looks beautiful. I then go in with the Coral R35 and the Cadmium Red R27 to do his mouth and his tail. So the Coral is more of an orangey pink colour, but I used that as the base and then put a lot more of the red on top and then blended it in so it just kind of made a nice bright colour. I also kept forgetting to move the paper into the view of the camera, and added the Apple Green G14 and the Nile Green G07 for Toothless's eye. And then I went back down to the tail brace pieces with the Maze Y37 for the goldish parts. I also went back later and did the bugs in the background with the Maze 35. Now with the Light Fury, I only used one colour for her general colouring, which was the pale blue grey B60 to define the shadow features in her body. As you can see now, it kind of looks purple, but it's supposed to be like blue. But it still suits that sort of colour to her, like in the actual movie. I didn't really put glitter on her, but she still looks quite nice here. I also used Ice Blue B12 and Process Blue B05 for her eye, nice bright blue. And then, as I said before, I went into all the bugs and added this Maze Glow. And then after I did the bugs, I added that same maze colour as some of the highlights on the dragons, as if the glow was on them as well as the bugs. So it was like transferring the light. I also find with the Light Fury, when you look at her, especially in the trailers, she's a lot more rounded than Toothless. Like, that might also represent the female form of the species of dragon, of the Night Fury, or Light Fury as they call it. So like the girls and the feminine dragons are more rounded and stuff. But yeah. And then as final touches, I used my Uniball Signo Broad white pen to add the highlights in the scales and the edges of like where the light would be reflecting off of something, and it looks nice in general. More just winging it really, but it still looks really nice with that nice white edge touch. Now I really enjoyed using the Copic charm markers, probably Copics in general, but I haven't choose real ones yet because they're just so expensive. And I've been buying these guys here and there and everywhere, like occasionally, just to carve up my collection. But you'll definitely see more drawings and videos involving them because I love them so much. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, it really means a lot. If you hit that like button and share this video, it really helps a lot. And if you'd like to see future videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified when I upload. See you all next time and have a great new year!